Yes! Yes! It moves! It moves! Hallelujah! We did it! It moves! Look at it! It moved once, but I mean, it's something. Ah, damn! We got it to move! It infected! And the mimic spread to a different location! Ah! Okay. Alright. It's fine. Now, we need to do it again.
Hello everyone, hopefully you're having a wonderful day today. Today is Game Dev, where we tackle the imposter spread, which I really need to rename into Mimic Spread, because every single time we say imposter, Among Us is mentioned. So Mimic Spread, and actually getting it to jump around the map as we want it to. Granted, you might have gotten a hint from the beginning of this video that we may have gotten some headway, but I won't show how long it took to get to that point. And we also had a recent addition to the community who shared their music that they've been working on that is tagged onto the end of this VOD. So give it a listen as well, as their social should be in the description. So sit back, relax, get some drinks and some snacks, and I'll see y'all in a second. Hello everyone. How are y'all doing today? How y'all doing? Hey Bear. Seems like a light in the beginning today, but that is absolutely fine. It is a Tuesday after all. Good. Glad to see it. How was your week? How was your weekend? Hopefully well? I'm trying to think what I did. I streamed. That's basically it. Really don't have too many updates beyond that. I think we're done with Do No Harm though. It was alright? Okay, well, I hope your this week and this upcoming weekend will be that much better. Hey Scallion! How you doing? How was your week? How was your weekend? Hopefully good. Any plans for the week? Because I know we just had St. Patty's Day, right? Redid your room? Hell yeah. Like organization or cleaning or like both? It is spring cleaning after all. It do be spring. Well, not officially. Wait, is it officially? I think spring is technically March 21st, I want to say. I honestly forget like the specific day of it. But like it's close. It's kind of that time. Adding new stuff to it, that would also explain it. Hey Ratty, how you doing? How was your week? How was your weekend? What new stuff did you end up adding, Scallion? What color are you thinking? And what color is it now? Is it like beige or off-white or whatever every single room I've ever moved into is? You know what I mean? Where it's just like, alright, okay, come on. I'm trying to think what, if I was to change the color of my walls, what it would be. Everything is white with like a touch of blue. Oh no! Oh no! I bet that would kind of mess with your visual for shadows, because shadow already has a blue tint to it. Probably always looks like the room's in shadow a little bit. That's wild. A tinge of blue. That's funny. Let's see. What if I were to pick a color? I don't know, man. I've always look, I love the cabin in the woods aesthetic, like just dark brown wood everything, and then like some just comfortable furniture, and then like just to add a good twist to it is it's just high tech. Like really good tech, really good convenience technology in it. I've been thinking for a long time as far as like my dream home. You know what I mean? Have y'all ever done that? Where y'all kind of been like, man, if I had all the money in the world and I could have limitless potential in my future home, what would I do? Because that was something that I did in high school, I want to say. And that's been something that's like I've thought of potential like water filtration systems, gardens, greenhouses, solar panels / like a retractable roof. Like I thought it all. What a Pokemon TCG Elite Trainer Box. I got 4 hits. Hell yeah! What did you end up hitting? What did you end up getting, Ratty? So like I don't know if there's anything like a normal quote unquote wall that's just like white that I would want to change the color of. I'm really bad. Your question: added a new desk, dresser, rug, and some new trinkets. Hell yeah. That's so cool. Are you replacing olds? Did you have like an old desk or something that you're throwing out? Toxicity X, Rourke, full art. I don't know Rourke. Tulip, full art. Hell yeah, and a golden energy card. Do you actually play the TCG or do you just collect? Because like the energy card stuff never really tickled my fancy, but that's because like I don't necessarily play the game all that much. I more or less collect every once in a while. Dragon's like, yes? Pokemon TCG? You rang? Just toss it into the basement? Well, you're better than me. But then again, like I haven't had good storage since I was like a teenager. Like ever since then, I've been moving from place to place, and it's always been like smaller, just because of the situation we've been in. So like I just don't have storage. So whenever we replace something, we throw it away, or give it away. I just went to the card store for singles a few days ago. Maybe I need a... Oh, wait. Did I not make a TCG section in the Discord? I need to do that. Because, like, I myself, I'm much more into Magic than I am in Pokemon. But I have collections of both, right? Like, it kind of depends. Yeah. So, because I play Magic, but Pokemon has always just been a thing where I just really like the art of it and collecting it and opening the packs and for that dopamine hit. Right? It's I've been so hardwired ever since I was like young that the cards it just tickles the brain in just the right way, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Post the Hisui and Gudra. Nice. That's awesome. I know Ratty, you posted a really cool looking full art one relatively recently. I'm pretty sure. Right? I think it was what was it? Was it God? What was the one that was like, it was a legendary and it looked freaking crazy. It was so busy. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't God. No, it wasn't Arceus. Never mind. It was the one that kind of looks like a centipede, but it has like 2 forms. I'm bad with names in general. I apologize. This includes Pokemon. Giratina? Maybe? Hold on. Let me Google Giratina. Giratina. Yes, Giratina. I remember... I'm pretty sure it was Ratty posting, it was like a full art hollow Giratina or something. It looked really cool. Thank you for the pet. Thank you for the pet. I'm gonna fight the Bible? What? What? I'm so confused. What? What are y'all talking about? You got it, Dragon. Oh, by the way, how do you want me to, is Dragon okay? Or do you have a preferred way for me to address you? We on something. Apparently. Dragon is good? Okay. Well, if that changes. And I do have that the pronoun extension. So if you have a preference as far as pronouns and stuff, feel free to interact with that and put your thing in there. But yeah. So no, like the last time I collected Pokemon, so I collected Pokemon cards. I collected a lot of cards. I started with Yu-Gi-Oh! We'll only need to change if there are more Dragon around. Preference. Okay. Good. Yeah, just wanted to let you know in case you had any strong feelings one way or another, and if not, that's completely fine. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there isn't another dragon. We have 2 stars. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad that it made you happy. No, I'm considering moving the hand, but at the same time, as soon as we change the y'all redeem a different costume, I'm gonna have to move it again. So you're just gonna be petting Mama Dodo's beak for now. So no, I began with Yu-Gi-Oh! And it began with my mom rewarding my brother and I for good behavior at the store by buying us cards. So already we're hooked. Like we've now, the bell has been rung and we started to drool. You know what I mean? It's like our brain is now being hardwired for cards and as a reward system. I fight the urge every time I go to the store now. Every time I go to Walmart or Target or anywhere. Thank God Kroger doesn't have any trading cards there, because I would also have to fight the urge there too. No, Scallion, but the cats listen. But the cat is cute, so they get a pass. No, as long as they don't mess with your ribs. I'm lucky that they are hard to find in the UK. Yeah, in the US, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Whenever we have like a get together in my city with my friends, we visit no less than 2 separate local trading card shops, and we end up spending a lot of money because, of course, we would. But so it started with Yu-Gi-Oh! Then it went to Pokemon. And then it went to a little bit of Digimon, a little bit of Duel Masters. Yeah, we like collected the Pokemon, but we didn't play the Pokemon. We collected and played Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we gave away our Pokemon collection to I consider them cousins, but they're not officially cousins. They're like family friends. You know what I mean? Do y'all have that kind of relationships where it's like your mom's best friend's kid? So that's like, it's pretty much an extension of the family, but it's not really technically. It's kind of like that. So we gave her Pokemon on my Pokemon collection because I didn't need it anymore. Yeah. That kind of deal. And hopefully she's doing well. Anyway, then I collected Yu-Gi-Oh! Up until I managed to trade a real Slifer the Sky Dragon in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I was done after that. My brother continued to collect a little bit more after that, but, you know. And then I laid off of it. But I really liked them. Good. I'm glad. It's good to be close to, people in general. And then I stayed away from cards for a while because I went to college and I couldn't afford cards. And then in college, I got into Magic. Magic the Gathering. And that was a struggle to keep under control in general. Then I managed to lose those cards, which I'm really disappointed because I had a lot of really good ones. Some moved somewhere. I misplaced them or something. And I've been essentially in Magic ever since. And then the last Pokemon cards I ended up buying again was when I made a trip over in DC where we had like a huge get together. So like my group of friends have been slowly gathering people for over the years. So like we met over games. Well, actually, I met my group of friends currently over playing Destiny the game. And then we it grew to include people when everyone jumped into Final Fantasy 14. So we played Final Fantasy 14 together and like raided together and stuff. And then it just continued to grow and grow and grow from there. And so we had like a huge get together of everyone. Well, not everyone, but damn close to everybody. And it was like 15, 18 people in a house, I want to say. It was a lot. Hell no, you're just not playing the right games. Now, if I played Call of Duty, I would be antisocial. If I played any game where it's like highly competitive, but also people yell at me, yeah, I don't want anything to do with people. You should take models for things and make it more realistic. Like what? What would you recommend, that good star? But no, like when we were over in DC, we saw like a couple boxes for Pokemon. A bear? Which bear? Because bears are realistic. What bear isn't realistic that we need to make hyper realistic? You know what I mean? But no, we got Pokemon, and then we all bear of bears. I'm so confused. The bear of bears. Do you bear the bear of bears? There's one website, I can't remember what it's called, but basically it has free models and one you have to pay for, so you could find like a bunch of props for things on there. Is it similar to like... It's like models that you can use in games? Is it models as far as like references? Or reference? Like 3D models where artists use to... I'm gonna put quotations as far... No, it's not cheating. It feels like cheating, even though it's not cheating, because that's not how that works. Oh! Bears. Right. That was on along with Regular Show, right? It was like right around that same time. I loved Regular Show, but I never got into the bear one. I know what you're talking about. It was like a polar bear, a panda bear, and like maybe a brown bear or something. Yeah, it was like 3 different bears, and it was just like it had the same vibes, right? Man, I miss Regular Show. I miss Regular Show. I miss Venture Time. I miss Gumball. I really miss Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, even though that's a different like group of shows. What language is being used? we haven't even gotten to the game dev part at this point, but you're not wrong. GDS script. No, GD script. GD script is the technical coding of Godot. And GD script is, I believe, close to Python as far as just its logic goes. Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things where I have some experience with C++, some experience with C#, because I've tried Unreal Engine and I've tried Unity as well. Specifically, I used Unity in the last game jam that I tried to join up. I tried to make a game out of Unity. You can go into Blender and make a TV model yourself. Yeah, that is true. And that is something that I've considered getting more into, is getting more and more into Blender in 3D models, and using that instead of like drawing everything. I can make a shift where they are 3D models, because you can make 3D models look like 2D, right? You can really stylize a 3D model to look good. So I considered doing that potentially. Experience is mostly C# and Java. C# was also with Unity, and Java is what we do in Uni right now. got you. I don't think I've ever done Java. How does Java compare to C#? Because as far as differences between C# and C++, it wasn't a whole lot, or at least from a surface level perspective. It was like certain terminologies were different, but beyond that, it was just different words for the same thing. You know what I mean? All I could say, my friends say my Java coding is I thought you said based for a second. Is bad. Is it just unintuitive for you? Because that's also a big thing that is discussed between like coders, right? Is like, what is the best code that is like, which one's the best one? And I feel like the argument is definitely like, it depends. It depends what you're trying to do. Yeah, intuitive. Gotcha. Well, then just don't use Java. I mean, it's for your school, so you kind of have to, but looked up and it says you should go into Sketchfab. I've heard Sketchfab before. Let's see here. Sketchfab. The most powerful 3D editor online. Yeah, but is it free though? Because that's one of the beautiful things about here, I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Boop. Sketchfab. Manage 3D assets, distribute 3D AR experiences. Oh, I bet you make it into Blender and then put it into Sketchfab. I bet you Sketchfab is a way to transfer your 3D models into other things. Because Blender isn't, I mean, as far as I'm aware, its main purpose is to make the 3D models, but it's not the best as far as transferring it to where you need it to go. As well as like there's some programs where you paint 3D models but it's specifically for painting the models. Whereas Blender, I think, has that option, but it may not be the best for it. And then you can buy and sell 3D models. Hey Bankley, how you doing? Well, one of the things I have considered as far as making some money on the side is making 3D models for people. Because I thought that would be pretty cool, especially if we could go down the route of like dinosaurs and stuff like that too. Because I think knowing and learning 3D models and how to make 3D models in a game dev sense, in a streaming sense, in a lot of other different kind of ways is very interesting and potentially multifaceted, right? Good. Honestly, a little tired today, but we're making it through. We're doing some game dev. Star mentioned Sketchfab, so I'm checking that out because I've heard it before as far as use of 3D models and things of that nature. I have made a robot spider in Blender when I was trying to get certification. I forget what I was trying to get certified for. It might have been C++. No, it wouldn't make sense if it was C++. Probably Blender. Having my lunch and tuning into the programming. Hell yeah, what you eating? And for those who have already eaten today, what have you eaten today? I ate 5 cheese tortellini with leftover General Tso chicken. So not good, not healthy for me, but delicious. Sometimes you gotta treat yourself. Thus, that might explain why I'm so tired right now. Because it's so good. And for those wondering, it's the reason that combination is, for whatever reason, it creates like a really good feel good in the stomach. I don't know how to describe it. Where it's like the mixture of the cheese tortellini and the marinara sauce and like a glass of milk with like the spiciness of the General Tso and all that mixes all in, and it's perfect. It's beautiful. And it's just, you're just all comfy inside. Now I'm trying to figure out how to make it so when you press escape for pause menu and then when you press E for the inventory, it doesn't freeze both of them, and I need to press window key to close the same window. Have you considered, are you using Godot? Or are you using a different program? Mashed potatoes with bean, cucumber, cherry tomato with mayo, chili dip. Hell yeah, you are using Godot. What about, because I struggled with this with my my screen. Where is it? It is, there is a checkbox somewhere that I had issues with where it prevented other interactions like beneath it as long as it's up. So it keeps it from things interacting with each other, right? It's, or unless that's not the problem that you're having. Is it that you're pressing a button and it's interacting with both at the same time? Or is there a bug that causes a crash that you need to constantly have to reset the program for? You press both. Let's see here. It was, let me see if I can remember it. It was months ago, so I apologize. So I need to find, where is it? Maybe it is in input. Here we go. Mouse filter. This is it. I had issues with the mouse. Oh, it only happens if I press both at the same time. So I apologize. I misunderstood your problem. Basically, what I am saying that the mouse filter here makes it so that any kind of button presses won't go down and affect other layers of that is currently online. Because the issue that I had for this particular one and what would happen is that I was trying to click the menu, but it wasn't going through. Where it's just nothing was working, and I was like, "What's happening? Why isn't this like the buttons and everything are there, and all the things are there? Why isn't it going through?" And it's like because there's this filter mouse thing that prevented it from happening. So I apologize. Hey Dark, how you doing? Pressing both at the same time. If it only happens when you press both at the same time, do you have a code where they're both doing something at the same time, or like they're both doing separate things and then they're interacting each other in a way that makes it so that it crashes? Because if so, that would explain the crash, at least to me. Gotcha. I think the only way, at least how I would approach it, would be something like if one of those button presses I don't need to happen at that specific time, make sure that it's off when I'm in that scene, and then it's on when we leave that scene. Where you like turn one of them off that you wouldn't have that. You know what I mean? Alright, let's see here. So what we're doing today is, I believe we are trying to figure out where our not detection. Yeah, our detection. Our imposters. Tween. Tween was a command. I think it was my first command that I added, where it is a well, pretty much the definition is there, right? It is used for animations it's a mathematical animation within game dev. And when I first came across it and we were trying to figure out the whole tween thing, it made me laugh a lot. Like, it made me laugh a lot, because I thought it was a really funny word. So then we decided to make it into a command, and now you can put exclamation mark tween. Or at first, it used to be exclamation mark tween vine boom, and that's what happened. But then I came to the realization that tween could mean something else. You know what I mean? AKA a tweenager. And that's kind of blech. You know what I mean? So I decided to put the definition in there, and then now that's what you're saying. But I did put a cooldowns because it is a bit of a wall of text. You know what I mean? All right. So as far as this goes, as far as our detection, where I just had to put mouse filter ignore. Hell yeah! Yay! I'm glad that I was able to help. I'm so happy. I feel like I don't know nearly enough about game development to give any help. But here we are. But I will say that mouse filter thing took me 3 weeks to figure out. Like, no joke. Like, actual, like, 24 hours, full 24 hours of game dev to figure out, because I was Googling it everywhere. There you are. Look at that. Perfect. Doesn't have any reaction to anything, so does that mean when you're revamping Mama Dodo, she's gonna have actual feelings instead of staring off at the abyss? Yeah, she'll have like reactions. Hey Brunch, how are you doing? The inspiration was a couple of things, but it first started as an inside joke where have y'all ever played Ark Evolved or Combat Evolved? In that game, you are caveman essentially, and then there's a bunch of dinosaurs, and you like get more and more technologically advanced. You tame dinosaurs, and then you fight bosses. And in that game, you can like tame dinosaurs, and you could also like gather their eggs and make kibble. So I loved the kibble aspect of it. I loved it. And the first dino that you can make kibble for are dodos. And so whenever we would play and start a new world, which we did like 4 or 5 times, the first thing I would do was get a whole bunch of dodos and make a dodo farm. So I was known as a dodo farmer. And and it is, so when I was thinking like, okay, well, what kind of face do I want to have when I'm streaming, right? And in particular in this case, with Idealist being a paleomancer, and then the inside jokes as far as dodos and dodo farming, it just kind of fused into, it's like, well, it is a paleomancer with an undead dodo, and here we are. Eventually I'll get that original Idealist's model made, but I'm excited to, once we get to that point, that you will also have a much more lively Mama Dodo as well on a shoulder, in which, don't worry, there will be times. Thank you. How are you doing today, Brunch Bunny? Do you like to be called Brunch or Bunny, or do you have a preference? It is fine with me. But it is your name, after all. But, and if you're wondering why Brunch or Brunchy works, of course. If you're wondering why the duck, it's for rubber duck debugging, which is a process in which a coder tries to figure out an issue or a problem, so they speak into the rubber duck, at the rubber duck, and by explaining it, they come across the solution to the problem. So Mama Dodo is dressed as a duck, so we may always solve the problems that we face as a game developer. As somebody who decided to be like, I just want to make a game without any formal experience on the matter. So, if you want to fumble around trying to make a game just like I am, then this is a perfect time to do so. If you're here to watch an expert with his craft, about that, I wouldn't necessarily say expert. More or less just a dodo trying to hammer their way through making a game. I played Ark and I had 2 dodos and both of them died by a big crocodile. No! You got crocked? Yeah, the one that jumps. At least you got the revenge. Thanks for the follow, Brunch. Appreciate it. Ark dodos can do be based. Just strap a couple. I would never strap bombs to them. I would never ever. They'll survive but might die to the dinosaurs of the enemy player. Well, that's why I don't play Ark on PvP mode. It's always PvE because, oh god. Okay, so I have a love-hate relationship to Ark. All right. The first couple times we tried to play it, we played it with other people. Like we did it with like public servers, right? And the first time, I was hunted down in the forest, beaten, forced to be knocked out, and abducted. Thank you. Well, thank you for stopping by, Brunch. Appreciate it. Stop by anytime. Welcome to have you. And so so that was my first experience with other people in Ark. The second experience is that I finally got enough resources. You play Ark. There's Ark Mobile? How? That thing runs like ass on the computer. How does it run on a phone? What do you mean? I think you could also do a dodo war with them. What's with you trying to bring dodos to war? They're not made for fighting. Except the Dodo Rex. That one's made for fighting. But no, the second time when I finally, like, I tamed a velociraptor, we had like a house built, and then I went to work, and then I went back and like the next day, and it was completely destroyed by T-Rexes, by like an opponent camp. And I'm just like, great, that's a whole day's worth of work gone because I had to go to work. That's not fun. And then the third time that I played it on public server, the blue plus shed of war. The third time that I played Ark Combat Evolved it was a server where they actually blocked the exit. So because normally what you would be able to do is that you would go up to like a huge tower thing and switch to different servers if you don't like the server that you're on. And in this one, they blocked it so you couldn't leave. And then this guy came down on a giant Quetzal and was just like, you. And he started like giving me stuff. He started like giving me items like armor and food and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, thank you, kind stranger. And he said, you're mine now. You fight in the arena in 2 hours. Prepare yourself. And then flew off into the sky. I'm just like, what? Why does everyone want to make their slave? I don't understand. Is that what all this game is in a game full of dinosaurs? I don't get it. That makes no sense. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Oh man. And survival. Oh man. So then after that, I learned how to host and play my own server at the same time, and we just did a private server. After that, and then I had a much better time, like just making different like kibble farms. Like, it's a really fun game to play with your friends on a private server. I will never recommend it for a public server. I will never recommend that game as a public server. Nuh-uh. It's not the kind of experience I want to have. It's just not it. Now, if you love PvP, if you love like open world PvP, then maybe go for it. But as somebody who's like, I just want to make dinosaurs and kibble, and that's my whole shtick, it's bad. I think I'm the only phone that has the app because there's no servers that are up. Probably, dude. I didn't even know there was one. I know they either made or making the second one. A very RP heavy in a public server. It is a bit. There's literal like clans and stuff on it where it's just like you have to join, like if you want to survive, you have to join one of the bigger groups on that server if you want to live, and then they'll assign you to a role, and your job is to be that role for that like group of people. And like that's cool and all, and that's fun and all, but and there is a certain kind of reward for having like playing those kind of games where you're like part of something bigger than yourself kind of vibes. So if that is something that you're looking for, that is something that it can provide. But I can also see like horror stories as far as like, oh, I lost a lot of sleep because I had to tame a T-Rex or something, right? And it's like, oh, it's my responsibilities. But because you're in a group, you could have someone who's constantly there and being able to protect the base, versus if you do it by yourself and then you need to go to sleep and or work. That's an opportunity to have somebody come by and just destroy everything. So yeah, it's definitely a game I haven't played in like D&D. Kinda, yeah. I like D&D a lot more. Speaking of which, one of my friends is starting a new campaign in the Cthulhu mythos, and I'm excited to play that. That's gonna be fun. He got inspired by Dungeons and Daddies. Have you all ever listened to them? The podcast? Highly recommend it. They're really funny. It's a really good podcast, and if you like D&D, you'll love what they do. And which reminds me, I need to make a character for that. It should be fun. But yeah, no. I mean, I guess we should probably do some game dev. We are game deving today, but it feels like we're just riffing. Not that I'm complaining in the slightest. I mark it on the VODs anyway. It's always funny on the VODs where I'm just like trying to timestamp things so people can skip to parts that they care about. And it's like yapping starting at 3 minutes, and it's like gameplay starting at 45 minutes. I'm like, my God, I was talking for 40 minutes. And I look at the time now and it's like, yeah, no, 40 minutes. 45 minutes of us just having a good time, which is not a problem in the slightest, but it's just funny to me. Okay, as a reminder, what this is, what our problem is, if we look, here's our map, right? Here's our world, here's our map, and here is our potential spread for the imposters to then, once they're chased out of a house, they'll run to an adjacent location, right? So we're starting up here, which is red, and then we want to do it so that, or what we're currently trying to go about it, is you move, I press a button, but essentially like that is quote unquote the action of you completing the task, is it will move from one to one of the ones that is detecting. It will turn on the one that it's going to, and it's going to turn off the one it went from. And then it'll just chain in the direction, a random direction essentially, of going to a location and then turning off the previous one, and then it won't be turning the previous ones on ever again, right? So once a house is quote unquote taken over, it won't double dip. Like, why would it go back to a house that it's already taken over? That makes no sense. So, but as of right now, when we click it, this one, it does exactly what we want. It goes to the first house, it turns off the previous one, But when we do it again, it's now went all the way over here, which makes no sense. It was over here. This isn't in the detectable range. So all these being on means that it's using this entire field as a potential, and then go there, turn it off, and then not only that, but it went to 2 different places. So it's on in 2 different locations at the same time. And then we do this, and then it shows 3 more, right? And then now I just keep spamming it. Now we've run out of options. So that was our current problem, where we're able to get it to jump and detect, but we're not able to turn it on for the next jump and then turn it off in the previous. Like, it doesn't have like a sense of self. So the new direction that I want to attempt to try to do is, instead of having every single location having its own detection, instead what it is that it is a one thing and it moves to a previous location. Like, it transposes itself to on top of the new location, and then it pops up that way. So there's no turning on, turning off, and there's no multiple instances. It's just one, and it just moves the detection to that location, and then it remembers its previous and then makes it so that it cannot be put there again. I think those are 2 whole separate things. I think as long as we get it to move first, we'll consider that a win, and then we'll try to implement it so that it has a memory of what it previously done and won't pick a second time, right? Now, what we potentially could do, and that's something that I've done on here as well, is it building? Where did I put it? No, it wasn't resources. There is a one, maybe it was building, and then I just deleted it all. Here it is, imposter spread. Here I decided to put a on ready thing for every single possible thing it could jump to. So what we could do is make it so that we do this, where we give it all the potential options it could go, and then make it so that where's our thing? Am I dumb? Where is our thing? Christmas. Where we were before, where where it jumps from one to the other, and then there's like an array of this, and then the detection pulls one of these up to like 5 of these, and then once it's done, it's removed from the list, and then further and further down it goes. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Oh, here it is. So I think it's that. I think that's our best way forward. I think there should be an achievement in the game by doing nothing and letting everyone die. That is going to be a different ending for not doing anything and letting people die, because we have to think of ways and how people are going to try to break the game. And in my mind, there are 2. It's the one where there's technically 3. There is, you try to save as many people as possible. 2, you try to kill as many people as possible. Or 3, you do absolutely nothing and see what happens. Those are your 3 options. Anything else is just like a combination of those. I feel like one of the imposters just speak in Russian, saying that they're a little boy and they need help. Why Russian? I do like where it's just a little boy and they need help is essentially what this game is about. You're like, you kind of got the nail on the head, where it's like, oh, no, that's their whole shtick. Their whole shtick is they want to take advantage of people's desire to help people. So of course they're going to mimic. And we talked about this before when we went over discussing about the demo for this game, where the demo is going to be a prologue. What am I thinking? Prologue for the actual game, and that the full game will have mimicries of the demo, of voices from the demo, as well as just kind of like a little bit of an Easter egg, a little bit of like a, oh, I remember that voice, like that kind of thing, where if you played the demo, you'll recognize the voice. Whereas if you didn't play the demo, it just sounds like a little kid's voice, right? But why Russian? That's what I want to know, Star. Is there any particular reason it's Russian? Or is it, do you like the idea of somebody speaking a different language? Because that is interesting. I didn't consider different. Well, I did consider different languages, because of course, if audio is going to be such an important aspect of this game, and I want this to be a successful game in as many different places as possible, the idea of, what's the word I'm looking for? The term necessary to make it so that you translate to the area, like that average Russian man speaking English. So like heavy accent is kind of what you're talking about. Okay. Localization. That's the word I'm looking for. Proper localization is important. So I just want to hear that from a mimic. Okay. Okay. Let me see something. Let's go ahead and do I have? We don't have it open. Let's open up our last call. We're gonna have potentials. Here we go. Potentials. Person with heavy accent, maybe Russian. Yeah. Because the idea of someone with a heavy accent would make, I mean, it's not too far-fetched, right? This is a small town in the middle in the United States, and I wanted to have like Appalachian mountain vibes, and it's not far-fetched where it's just like, oh, this person isn't from around here, right? Which also gives a little bit of an interesting twist to it. This person with this heavy accent isn't from around here. So when people go missing and shit starts happening, do the people jump to conclusions and think it's from the guy who isn't from around here, right? Is there a little bit of some xenophobia going on? Which is like, now you're gonna have people calling with the intent of being like, hey, we think it's this guy that's causing everything, right? And then that people might try to take it into their own hands, which would be kind of interesting perspective, right? How about if the mimics are calling you, you can tell because the last person they killed is their voice? Well, we are going in that direction a bit, Star, in that not every house takeover is a phone call. Where if people are letting other people into their house thinking it's their friend, they're not going to call 911. They're just going to open the door, and then they get attacked and killed, and then the first call that you get from the house isn't automatically going to be a person. You have to still be aware that the person calling may have been taken over and they are now calling you to try to send someone over, right? So, excellent idea, Star. Excellent idea. So excellent, already did it. So let's go to the script here and maybe put not from around here. One of the people has a heavy accent and is not from not originally from that location, this small town, when things go bad, certain people start to suspect that they are the cause of all of what's happening. Explores into the issues with xenophobia. Yeah, I like that. Granted, I think that makes my game woke. Sorry to say, guys, gotta hang it up. It's true. I'm gonna be added to the list. Discussing about xenophobia in my video game? I should be ashamed. I should be ashamed. How dare I? Me. Chicken butt? Huh? I wonder. Oh shit. No, my chicken butt. You're gonna make me have a fat butt instead. No, please. But yeah, no. That's funny. Are you just saving up your points to just make me just do as many squats as possible? That's really funny. And appreciated. Or unless you don't want me to be appreciative. And then yeah, I just like, no, please, don't make me exercise. Just like really bad acting. Like, oh no, please don't. Please don't spend all your hard-earned points to make me exercise. That'd be the worst. Oh man. All right. Well, we're right around the time for us to do ad break. So I'm going to do ad breaks now, and then we will and then I'll do my exercises as thanks to a star and get a refill of my water. So I will be right back after these commercial messages. Bow, 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 bow. And welcome back. I'm not out of breath. You're out of breath. Whew. That's 11 ads is a little ridiculous. Whew. Sorry. 1 second. I'm catching my breath. Y'all should try to do the workouts with me. We'll get swole together. The pain that we grow. I mean, what I could do once we make our like program, not the game, like the stream program, where we have our own currency and stuff like that, we can make it so that if you do it, you get like more points or something. So you get rewarded for it. Okay. Alright, you ready? You guys ready for this? Listen. Since I'm tired, I got a caffeinated drink. So good. I love sparkling ice, dude. Hey, sparkling ice, sponsor me. Ooh. Anyway, whew. Each time and further you get throughout the night, you get more and more money. Oh, similar to Doll Factory, right? Or that horror Doll Factory game where every night you get money and you can put new stuff on your desk. I was planning on tying different desk ornaments potentially to like different progress rewards. So essentially tying them to achievements. And then you can kind of go from there. Or anything from what I would consider like stickers. Like stickers to plushies to plants to mugs. You know what I mean? That could be kind of fun. In fact, possible ads. It is tie desk ornaments to achievements / progression. I'm just trying to think of specifically the way where you're recommending star, where it's like it depends further along you go. It feels a bit antagonistic in the sense of like, as the night goes on, I want there to be a like growth feeling of like dread and overwhelm. And it's like, I don't want there to be a narrative beat where it's just like, oh my god, I need to go because my child's gonna get killed. And then you're just like, ooh, a new plushie. Like, like, oh, what? And if you can let people be able to get achievements and new plushies will appear in the shop and things you can put on your monitor. Okay, let's see here. It's like kind of like shop idea. Let's see here. We'll make these two separate things. We'll make this where it's like adding a shop to let the player use or buy ornaments for their desk. Money is equivalent to progress in the game? Question mark. What if we tied it to almost like an electronic store? Like, think like old, maybe Amazon, because this is like early 2000s, right? So if we have like an old online store pretend website where then you could be like, cool, just add this to your desk. And then you like click it and then you zone back out from the computer. Where it's just like, I was like, oh, okay, I'm shopping, beep, boop, boop, boop. And then I zoom out. And then once I'm out here, the things are on the desk already. The desk is already pretty cluttered though, too. I mean, I'll probably clean up a little bit as far as organize this around. I'm not married to this setup as of yet. Okay. Alright. I'm not completely sold on the money aspect of it, but I do like the idea of rewarding visual, having like rewards for certain completions, and then also the flexibility of what money in a shop allows, which is to allow you to get what you want to get versus it just giving you something that it already plans on getting you. You mean make a double up my work to make a second game in a game? Then we have another mini game inside a game. Though funny, I'll consider it. Tell you what, I'll consider the pinball game in there as like a post update. Like along with the potential for the quote unquote not Eldritch Hunters, whatever the hunters for that would be similar to Bigfoot. Along with them, we will also add like a little mini game. I mean, Fear the Fathom did it. Well, Fear the Fathom is a different game. I mean, I get it, and I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's taking us a long time just to get this thing out the door. So I like the idea of it, but the scope is completely different. You know what I mean? I haven't made a pinball game before. Granted, it probably wouldn't take that long. It could be something that we could do. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, that would fall under what I would consider feature creep. And you get that mini game. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Potentially. That's not his. Oh, potentially. Potentially add pinball or similar mini game as 100% completion reward. Okay, I'll consider it. But my statement still stands, is that this feels feature creepy. This doesn't feel like an MVP. MVP is minimum viable product, where we only add and we only make what is the core part of the game, and ways to specifically enhance that. Well, not even enhance, that's just my own adage, but do the bare minimum that you need to put in, and then if you have time and budget to spare, grow from that moment, right? Which is why we removed the hunters aspect to it. So I will consider it. It is in the potential ads list here. Speaking of which, I don't know why I have so many open spaces. Like, what the heck is wrong with me? What the hell? Alright, so we want this to move, right? We want you to move. And because we want you to move, we have action pressed spread. We have get collider. Well, hold on. Let's see something. All right. What if I do something crazy, something insane, something that you couldn't possibly fathom? Where is it? Where's the? No. Viewport. Here we go. We're here. And what we'll do is that we are going detach script. No, wait. What are you? Detection. Okay. We're detaching all the scripts with the exception of the first house. What are you? That's building base. That's fine. Now, let's see what happens. There's pop-ups on the monitor. Like you're on the internet and it just causes pop-ups that blocks what you need to do. That feels... Why? That's what I want to know. Why would you want that? All right, let's see here. Okay, so it doesn't work anymore. Interesting. Why doesn't it work anymore? Alright, let's add you to this and then see what happens. I thought it will be free this evening, but now I'm part of on this Rise Music Arts concert. Oh, got you. But that's quite a bit fun. I hope you have fun, Dragon. Thank you for stopping by, and let me know how it goes. Hope you have fun. Because fun pop-ups are fun for you, Star? Pop-ups are fun? interesting. Okay. And you would have to close them? Yeah, I understand the loop here, but that feels annoying. It doesn't feel... Closing pop-ups doesn't add any of the feelings that I want them to feel. It's not difficult, it's just annoying. That's the problem with pop-ups anyway. I get that if we want to lean into it, where we can be like, the pop-ups will move around, it will like have fake X buttons on it, like we could make it a whole thing, but that kind of is distracting from the sense of like, this entire time they're trying to juggle a bunch of different, like trying to send these emergency vehicles to different locations, and then it's like, on top of trying to juggle all that, and then also trying to decide if the person on the other phone is real or not, on top of all that other kind of stuff, now you have pop-ups happening. That would just be like too much. You know what I mean? Let's see. So we want it to take the attacked. We want it to move. We want it to move to a location, right? So we have up to 5 targets, right? We see that it is able to select, right? It's able to select this. It's able to get the targets of choice. It then chooses a random one. And then what we want to do is go to the selected location. So before attacked set collision, it's move to? Move toward dot attacked. That's not a thing, right? It might be a thing. It might be a thing. So what if we go ahead and do... Let's close all these other proximities. Detach script. Alright, let's try this. This probably doesn't exist, but we're gonna try. Yeah, that's not a thing. Okay, hear me out. You can hard mode, where it pops up and a bunch of different features that only you can unlock by getting a certain time. The idea of unlocking... Man, that is not how you spell potentially. That's also not how you spell potentially, but we're gonna do it. Add rewards for getting certain times. Though I'm still not 100% on board with the add part of it. The fact of, hey, you get extra stuff for lasting as long as you can is not a bad add. That's not bad. It's actually a pretty decent suggestion. I don't know why you want pop-up so much though. Why would I want to implement one of the most annoying aspects of being online in my game? And why is it fun? Am I missing the fun aspect to it? You know? Alright, let's see here. Translate. Translate attacked. Okay, so I mean, I definitely should look this up, but the idea here is that you move to the location, you find a particular location. What if we did this? What if we did this? What if we did variable spot equals, and we get like the XY value of that location? All right, let's see here. Boop. Are we talking about different pop-ups? Because one I'm thinking about is the ones that just randomly appear on your screen, and they offer you like a basic deal, but it's going to hack your computer. Yeah, I'm talking about that one. Why is that fun? Godot translate. New question, but if in order to move an object Godot, we can change the position of the node translate function. Translate is relative and position is absolute. Translate is actually implemented like this: position equals position plus offset. Feel free to use whichever one best fits you. I'm assuming 2D. See below for response for 3D. I think he knows that. It's just he meant that the difference between using something translate plus versus position plus equals. Choosing the position coordinates, ignoring orientation and hierarchies. Here we go. Translations of resources are being loaded and unloaded on demand. Let's see here. Move. Why can't I? Why isn't it not doing it? Okay. Godot get position. Object global position. The docs have a list full of properties, each type of node. All right. That's how you get the coordinates. So what we would do then, it would be spot would be attacked dot, what was it? Object global position. I wonder if it doesn't count because it's not an object. Invalid type function translate on base. Okay, let's get rid of this for right now. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. And then what we'll do here is that we'll do this, and then we'll print spot. And now okay, so we'll need to do this to prevent errors occurring. And for those that don't know, the if attacked does not equal null allows it so that if it does come back as null, it doesn't crash the game. Attacked global position, print spot, and then what I want is to change where we are to it. So then I want, what if we do translate spot? Let's see what happens. And the reason we're not just copying and pasting is because we're trying to learn, right? We're trying to learn this, so we're gonna have to see if we can figure it out on our own, and then when we can't, then we see what the answer is. And figure out why it's not. Okay, so translate is not, I don't think is the right word for it. So then we boop. Position and global position, both properties. This means in order to get the position relative. I kind of want to tie it to an object though. Like that's the thing. It's like the target is get the collider. Target 1 is getting the collider of the spread, right? So what I want is from that collider be able to be like, oh, perfect. This is where we need to be. This is where we are. Old house 3, right? We moved from here to old house 3. Hit it again. Cool. And we don't get errors. Perfect. Let me check something. Let's make sure it's different. Okay, old house 2 is 50/80. Yeah, all right. So that's fine. So now I want to move to the spot because we have the global position. So now Godot move to position. Make a script for the button that is moving with the function that moves it to the location. What? I feel like when you look at other things, there should be like a 2% chance of Momododo appearing on the screen. What do you... Oh, like a ghost in the machine kind of deal? Where you just see like this, what is that overall, like just vaguely on the screen? That would be funny. That would be funny. I don't know, I feel like just having a duck Momododo squeaky toy off the rip is like enough. You know what I mean? As much as I would like to add more, like I don't want to overstep my boundaries, you know? So this is the move. The position. What is plus equals? Position, direction to destination, speed delta. How do we create at a given point? Float void, target position, set this to the target coordinate. Float. Velocity, move and slide. We don't want like teleport. We want teleport. Something like that. You just see it and it just disappears. Like it's there for like a split second. That would be kind of funny. Player translation. equals teleport get global transform origin. Generally, I have a position 3D node placed where I want the player to teleport to, and when they hit the boundary, set the player position to copy it. If the body is player, player translation teleport. Teleport a player from one object to another. This is kind of what I'm talking about. Is node refract a child node of area 2D that's attached to? Sharing a scene would help. When you use get node, you should also use onReady. I need to see a front-facing Mama Dodo. Oh god. She already looks weird enough when we flip it to the other side. I don't even want to imagine. Though it's going to be interesting putting her in live 2D with animations and stuff like that. The script is loaded. The scene is not completely loaded. Hence the null exception. Refract position. Vector 2. Maybe we need to do dot position. Maybe we don't need to do the global position. What if we just did attacked position? Still not quite. Okay. So let's do that, but this time we do spot position. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? We killed it. Okay, cool. Invalid property position and base object type vector 2. Maybe we need to do attacked vector 2. Yeah, yeah. Global position. Okay. And now that doesn't even reach it. Spot attacked global position. Oh, actually, hold up. Let's do you. Variable attacked location, and then print attacked location. There you go. I bet Mama Dodo would look terrifying on the onesie. Had a bottom part of the jaw. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, where it's just it looks like a huge underbite. Maybe. Alright, let's see here. Global position. But then when I did this... Wait, hold on. It was working before. Why isn't it not working now? I'm confused. Well, it looks like it's swallowing her. That's true. You're not wrong. Okay, so now that doesn't. Okay. It doesn't happen more than once. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Then we'll switch this to attacked location equals attacked global position. And then this is attacked location. What? Swallow? It's not working. Is it because it just didn't get lucky? Invalid, non-existent function, global position in base static body 2D. Okay. Wait, why is it causing that now? It's the same thing that was happening before and it was working exactly. Is it because it needs to be this? Try one more. We're just gonna keep on. No, it worked. So without the parentheses, that's crazy. I mean, swallowing her isn't sensor needed. Not really. Let's see here. So we have the ability to move to the location, or we detect the location, and then we print the location on here. Now we want to move to said location. Maybe we need to do... oh, okay. Okay, I'm starting to see it. So we need... variable... let's see here. What should we call this variable? I'm thinking like just like the center core of it. Imposter. Variable imposter equals vector2. Right? And then we want the location to equals vector2 dot what is vector2.0? Let's see. What is vector2.0? With the magnitude, this API number is constant, must be assessed through vector2 global as opposed to individual vector2 object. Is just a vector with 0 length as the same as vector 0, 0. It has no special importance or anything. Okay. But what if I want to... oh, perfect. So if I want... what's the... okay, hold on. Vector 2. Equals vector 2 dot... we'll do 0 for now. It doesn't like it. Why doesn't it like it? Oh, I see what I did wrong. There it is. What if I just did print global position first? Okay, cool. 80-40. Why can't I do that? Hey Ben, how you doing? I'm trying to make items drag and drop in each square of the inventory, but there isn't any good tutorials that I've seen. No. To make items drag and drop. Yeah, I don't know. Like manually? Whenever I get those kind of answers, the first thing I do is like look up a game, see if I could find the code for a particular game that I'm trying to reference, and then look at the code and see how they went about it. Let's see here. What did this say? It was like, oh, there is no dot. Okay, there is no dot. So it's this. Okay. Imposter is this. Then what we want is moving it. Making a micro prototype in Godot. Hell yeah. That's very good practice. I felt that way with FNAF. I was like, it would really help me in this game with the moving between computers and stuff if I could find like a FNAF clone in Godot and just look at the way they went about their code. That's how I did my main menu. I found like a main menu thing in Godot that was free to look into, and I saw how they did their code, and I tried to like analyze it and replicate it. Still took me like 3 weeks. 80-40, and then what we want is to take this equals position of that. So it's imposter. Hold on. I literally just forgot it. Yeah, imposter equals tact location dot position. Okay. See if this works. If I've done this right, it should. Nope. Invalid access to property or key position on base object of type vector 2. As in, it shouldn't be vector 2? Or it should be vector 2. Alright, let's temporarily remove this. See if the rest of it's clicking as it should be. Well, I do a few things I want to make into prototype. I will be done. Yeah. That's part of the journey. Okay. I think what I need to do is take this and put it under if I put it under sprite, That's points of interest. It might be able to work. Wait, hold on. That's the wrong one. This is the one that I wanted. Here. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. $80, $40, $80, $40, $80, $40. All right. The print that is fine. I don't need to print global position anymore. I know where we at. I hope you're prepared for what I'm about to send in the Discord. It's not that bad. It's just Mama Dodo. Yeah, but the fact that you said it like that makes me very worried. Star. Remember what I said about cursed memes, my boy. Now let's see here. Get all these. You got the vector. Hold on. I'm checking it right now in case I need to delete it immediately. Oh. That's really funny. I like that. I might make a second beak. Seeing it visually, Star, it's really funny. You think it's like, I think it's funny. I think that's good. Where like, is Mama Dodo being eaten? Wait a minute. That's good. I like it. Let's see here. But when we do this, it doesn't like it. What did I do wrong? So, position equals other object. So function ready, refact position, get node position. Get node, refact position, kind of working out, just need to tweak the collision a bit. So that's on ready. Refract position. I think we do need to put on ready. Yeah, I think that this should be an on ready. So this shouldn't be in here. I think on ready. Imposter vector equals that. On ready, it's there. We like that. And then we hit the button that will then try to spread it. But we can't change the attacked location equals attacked global position. And then we print that location. What if we did this? No, I didn't like that. Yeah, just. Oh wait, hold on. No. Maybe. Maybe. It was worth a shot, though. Because we have the location. We saw the print of it. Now we just need to just move. Why won't you move? This one, we'll do this one being as imposter. Imposter proximity. We'll call this imposter proximity, and then we'll just copy, paste. There we go. Like that. But there's nothing. Alright, well, let's refresh. I also should, hold on. I'm gonna put this back into streamer mode so y'all don't hear it. Boop boop boop, streamer mode so y'all don't get the thing. Boop. I turned that on because of I keep forgetting. Or the names, some of y'all's names look alike in streamer mode because it just shows the first letter. But I fixed something for you. Yeah, the bottom beak, right? I thought it was funny. I thought it was good. What was I doing? I got sidetracked. Oh, right. Okay, well, let's see what happens when we don't do this. Let's see what's gonna happen without the move. Yeah, so we hit a similar situation now. Well, we've essentially turned the other one on and the other one off. We're essentially going back to where we were before, where we need to turn one thing on and one thing off in order to keep going. Let's put these back. And I think this just makes it so we don't see them. Weird. Why is it not selecting anything sometimes? Oh, is it because that there's nothing to interact with? So if I do this, why did Old House 2 click when we needed close proximity, but the imposter proximity is up here? Why did that work? Interesting. Okay. Weird. Weird. We want it on ready, refract position equals get node refract position. Maybe we need to get node? Maybe instead we'll just do this. Instead of global position, we'll just do position. No. Imposter. Track the location at 0, 0. Why is it 0, 0? I guess it hasn't been chosen yet? What if we did imposter position equals attack location? Invalid key or property or key position on a base object of type vector 2. So it doesn't like moving. Teleport to position 2D. Okay, let's see here.
Hey guys, how's it going? Today
Let's see. How are you gonna do this? As soon as you walk into one, you walk into the other. Similar to that. Variable landing zone, get known, marker 2D, dot global. So it looks like it might have to do get node. Body global position equals that point. Okay. So let's try global position equals. So attacked location should be instead the attacked it's like attacked dot get node what I want to know is did he body entered landing zone. Where did he get landing zone from? Okay. Okay, I think this might be it. At export variable landing zone. Yeah. Here's area 2D. Of the portal. Okay. So okay, I'm just trying to think it through. Because the way that this guy did it, very simple, very straightforward. Good tutorial, by the way. There's a like. Is that you export area 2D of a variable of that thing, and then you make it so that if they enter, then it links the two, right? So in our case, what we want is all right, I'm gonna keep thinking this through. I'll see y'all in 3 minutes with some ads. See y'all in a sec. All right, let's follow the frame of logic. Welcome back, by the way. Let's follow the frame of logic of what is happening here. So in the portal section, he has two things. He has a character and then he has a portal, right? And in the portal, he makes an export variable of landing zone where it's area 2D. and then makes it so that if a character enters it or is connecting from from a portal, then you're good, and then you can then they're putting the test of the body where if they run into it, it'll print out something as long as it's triggering it appropriately, which is true. That's fine, because that's actually what we look when we do our 2D body. That's what pops out as well. So that much is true. So then they make a second portal, and looks like they have they created the export here. So then they're able to bring in an object for it to be applied to. Right? So then they go back, and then they make it so that, still in the portal one, that they made a variable called TP point, where it's the landing zone of what they put in. They get that node called marker 2D, and then get the position, or the global position of that node. And then you take the body global position that they've indicated, where it is the TP point. Why do you say that? Okay. Obviously, they're going to move to remove that, but where we are with that similar thing in mind, what we want is when we press spacebar, right? We are. As Balamantis Dodo says, Idealist, we need to recharge. Yeah, that's Mama Dodo. That's Mama Dodo telling me I need to recharge. Now, what was I saying? Oh, right. What you think streaming is free in Idealist world? Nah, it requires energy. In order to regain that energy, we go to ad breaks. How it be? It gotta be. Alright, so we hit spacebar. Granted, right now, it's not... I wonder... Is the reason why it's not picking is because... Hold on. Is it because it's choosing target 4 and 5? And there is no target 4 and 5, so it's choosing? Hold on. I think that's exactly what was happening. Why is it 0, 0? So you use a battery instead of actual human things? Yeah, you got it all right. I don't think this worked the way I thought it was going to work. Because I think we're at 0, 0. Because attack location, we're printing the attack location. Attack location being 0, 0 is not correct. The attack location isn't 0, 0. It shouldn't be 0, 0. It should be the global position. There we go. Global position. Oh, I think I see it in the corner there. Can y'all see it? Hold on. Is it my imagination? Let's refresh it. Up in that corner. Hold on. Oh, damn. Can I, like, do this? Okay, now if I do this. No, there wasn't anything in the corner. So I was correct. So we do have a bit of a problem. Oh gosh, another problem. So here's another potential issue from what we had before. So I had before that we can go up to 5 targets, but the first thing that we jump to, or jump from, doesn't have 5 targets. It has 3 targets. So it pulls in nothing from 0 on the 4th and 5th target, meaning that it can randomly, due to the way that it's done, is that the array, we have to find a way to make it so that this array, it can't be 0. I think the way that I would do it would be like, if location choice equals 0, do it again. Like, that's kind of the direction I want to go, where it's like, hey, if the target is like 0, then you didn't get a target, then do it again until you get a target, right? For now, until we can get the moving aspect of it, I'm fine with reducing it to 3. And then we can increase it up to 5 and then make it so it's 0, then it doesn't move over, right? So, okay. So we are well, here's the thing. On ready variable imposter vector 2. I don't think is correct. I think we need to make ourselves vector 2. Because right now we made the imposter variable, right? Like, imposter equals this now, but we didn't label it ourselves. So we need to do something like starting position is at location blah or something. Hold on, let's see here. Godot making starting position. Position for a sprite in Godot. It's not a node. No matter what, when I hear you say imposter, I think Among Us. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should replace all imposter with mimic at this point. Just to avoid the... You're like, Among Us. How do we do it? Or maybe that's a whole different kind of thing. Maybe I should tackle one thing at a time. I don't know, bruh. I don't know. Let's do, because as of right now, this is what we got. We have our current position here. We hit space. It is able to detect these 3. It has chosen this one. it has done the things to this one, it's able to identify it. Cool. And we have the location of it. Okay. And what I want is essentially this part here to work, which is taking us and then making it so that the global position becomes the TP point. And I think the only way for us to do it is identify what the heck a body is here. So does this go... Where does he define body? That's where I want to know. Let's see here. Body entered. Body entered body is node 2D. Is body like an identifier? Is body like a thing? Let's see. It doesn't seem like it's a thing. I can't wait until the animation versus game comes out. There's an animation versus game? That's pretty cool. Let's see here. Let's see. We have character. We have portal, collision, marker, 2D, collision shape 2D, portal, character body, portal body, variable landing zone area 2D, body entered in an area 2D equals blah. It's basically from Alan Becker. Which one is Alan Becker again? You know how I am with names. Which is the creator of Animate versus Animator. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's exciting. That's great. On body entered. Test body. So the body is something where it is created by a body entering, so it is given the variable body. And it's taking the thing that they put into it as body. How do I know? How do I get itself to move? I'm pretty sure I watched Animation versus Animator. It's a vague memory. It was a long time ago. I'm thinking... I originally thought you were talking about, like, stick fights. Hold on. Let me look. Let me see if I know actually what you're talking about, or if I'm just speaking out my butt. Animation versus Animator. Yeah, the stick figure fights. Yeah, I remember that. Where they're fighting like the cursor and stuff like that. Yeah, that's peak Newgrounds. Loved it. Body global position TP point. So maybe the issue lies with this. The position is 80-40. Okay, rotation scale. Maybe Shapecast 2D. What if I did Shapecast 2D dot what? Dot global position equals attacked location. What if we did that? Valid assignment of property global position with value type vector 2 as space object shapecast 2D. Why? Why? What am I not understanding? On body entered. Well, we're hitting spacebar instead. They make a variable that is the get node global position of the marker 2D. He's also on YouTube. Oh. I definitely was current at a certain point. Yeah, maybe I'll check them out. Listen, there's 1,000 things I need to watch. All right. But it would definitely be good inspiration for animation. Let's see here. Position is that point. Global position of getting the node of that. You transport that. Are we not able to move? Maybe the reason we're having so much difficulty is because shapecast 2Ds aren't made to move by itself. So what if instead we make a sprite? Let's make yeah, let's make a sprite 2D here. And this is what we're gonna do. Add child node, sprite 2D. And then we're gonna go ahead and put it right here. Put the proximity, or the imposter proximity here. We're gonna name it mimic. We're gonna name this mimic proximity. I think we're onto something now. I think the reason we've been having so much difficulty is that we're trying to move. Like, it's almost like you're trying to move a radar, but you're not moving the ship. You can't move the radar beyond the ship. That makes no sense. The ship is what's causing the radar. If you want to move the radar, you need to move the ship. So now we have a mimic. We have a sprite 2D mimic that's visible. And the mimic's location is all this stuff. Is like, we could just make a new script called mimic. Perfect. And then this thing, we're gonna rename this mimic. We're gonna start renaming all of the imposter stuff mimics, by the way. Mimic, vector 2, etc. We're gonna take that. We're gonna put that here. On ready. This is the vector. The vector is we're already at this location, right? I mean, do we need to? I don't know if we really need to, because if it's on ready, let's say you quit and come back, do we want it to reset? Not really. What was it? 80/40? There. 80/40. That's not needed. Boom. Also, I posted what the game looked like and when that Kickstarter is going to come out. Oh, they're doing a Kickstarter too. Oh, that's pretty cool. I hope they get it. Alright, so the mimic script is in. Now we go to mimic proximity. And now what we're going to do is the mimic proximity is going to detect, and then it's going to at on ready get node. Now we are going to treat it similar to this, where the location equals well, we need to do the export, right? Export variable and then mimic location. We can name this mimic location, right? So we'll do export mimic location equals area 2D. Did I do that wrong? It looks like I did. Oh, I keep on doing variable mimic location is area 2D. There. So now we're exporting the current location of mimic. Hell yeah. And then we go here. And after we've made that, we don't need an on ready. It is variable and we'll name it on ready variable mimic current location is am I making this more complicated than it needs to be? Probably. Yeah, where it's like current location equals mimic location get node parentheses. All right. Mimic. Wait, hold on. Was it equals or was it semicolon? It's dot. No, wait, no, it's not. Hold on. I'm done. Equals that. Wait, is it in the same one? They're in the same one, isn't it? It's within the same. They're in Portal. They both have it. They both are within the same script. Why does it have a symbol? What are you talking about? So it includes both in the script. I mean, that's fine, I suppose. I guess. I guess I could rename this to Mimic instead of imposter spread or detection. Because I was going to potentially use this. I mean, if both of these need to be under there, I was going to also put the Mimic one specifically under like the rules of how often it moves, etc. So I guess detecting would also be underneath. Oh, And then why does and have a symbol? Oh, got you. I mean, it's a little bit of creating shorter letters and or symbols to represent certain things is like very much just how language goes, right? Like the letters TH used to have a single letter with it because it was such a common thing. Instead of saying approximate, you have the tilde. You have like instead of dollars, you have the dollar sign. Like you have, I understand it's like, oh, it's only 3 letters, but it's like, but if you're putting a lot of ands in a lot of different places, going from 3 letters to 1 letter, it's a shortcut, right? When there's more of a need of a repetitive cycle of doing something repeatedly over and over and over again, people are very much more inclined to find a shorter way of representing it, right? Especially and, which is a exceptionally common word. But to be completely honest, I don't really know. It might be left over from Old English. It might be brought over from a different language. It may be one particular reason where it's like you are, let's say for instance, I think that's the TH symbol, isn't it? Something like that? I don't really know. But if I had to guess where the and symbol came from, it's back when sending letters or printing of paper requires a certain amount of money per letter, right? So then you want to, by doing an and symbol instead of AND, you save yourself money. And especially in a like news article where you might have a lot of ands, that can stack up to saving you a lot of money. Like if I had to guess, that's where it would have been from. It is a way to save money, but it kind of got adapted through that culture as an acceptable replacement, and then we just brought it over after generation and generation until we forgot the original reason for it. We'll see if I'm right, but... Okay, so we have mimic location is area 3D. But then we have you, where we import. Is there import? Variable. Mimic location. Is that a thing? See, I see export on ready. See? I see it right there. Assign. That's where the export thing comes in. Okay. So the export is... Okay, I think I understand it. It creates a new thing to add to the right. And then the reason they did export here, where we did the landing zone, is that they then put, after putting the body enter, they added portal 2 to the portal landing zone, right? It links the two. So now it's brought over. Got you. Okay. So I don't think we need an export here. I really don't. I think the mimic proximity is underneath the mimic, so wherever the mimic goes, the proximity will follow. It's within the same tree, right? So I'm gonna take away this. Or actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and I don't like taking away. We'll just do that for now. And then we come back down here. What we can do, actually, is export. Let's see if I'm understanding this correctly. If I export variable mimic is area 2D. Okay. No, actually, no. It would be sprite 2D, wouldn't it? Right? And then I take this mimic and I brought it over there. Now it's part of this. Okay, so this means the symbol is a section mark or a paragraph symbol, often used to indicate the start or new section of a paragraph in legal documents or other formal writing. Got you. I think we just changed that to just tabbing it, where there's indentation. But maybe this falls under the same category of every single spot on a paper costs money. So it's better to have one symbol indicating a start of a paragraph versus tabbing, which is more like 4 or 5 different symbols worth of pages. And if you need every single spot for every single thing, then that would make sense. All right, so we export variable mimic sprite 2D. So we brought in our mimic. Now, what we want is that we want to change the mimic global position to the attacked position. Oh! 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 Wait. It's different. Why is it over here? Oh, I know. Hold on. This position is 0, 0. Yes! Yes! It moves! It moves! Hallelujah! We did it! It moves! Look at it. It moved once, but I mean, it's something. Ah, damn! We got it to move! It infected! And the mimic spread to a different location! Ah! Okay. All right. It's fine. Now, we need to do it again. Let's go! Star, you were here! You were here, Star! I was there! Let's go! I'm just excited we got the thing to damn move. And you know what it was? This secret was that I was... Okay, so this is the issue that I ran into. I was trying to move the little radar pip thing that it was detecting instead of making a brand new object and getting that to move. You can't move the scanning thing. You need to attach the scanner to an actual radar gun, and then you can move the radar as however you want. You can't just send the radar off willy-nilly. So that was the problem. The problem was that. Okay. Hell yeah. We got it to move once. So how do we get it to keep moving? We're getting an updated version of Mama Dodo if you look at the bottom jaw on the duck onesie. What? Okay, basically, what's a good terminology? I can't think of a simpler one. I'm sorry. I have failed you. Just know that it's working now. So we force shapecast update, so it should work. Why doesn't it want to work? After the first one. Let's see what happens if we take these off. Because the forced update was more or less to... Okay, so it still jumps. I want it to detect force shapecast update. I feel like you would be you would like playing friends versus friends. Which one is that one? Okay, it still doesn't want to do it anymore. But why? Is it you? Basically a game where you're an FPS shooter, but versus your friends. Oh my god! It's jumping! Look at it! It's going, baby! Oh, look at that! It works! We're able to get it across the map! Look at that! Look at that custom range, bro! Look at it! Yeah! Double, double. This is a double win. Now let's see it the other way. It's stuck here, but that's fine. Okay. Okay. So, before, we didn't have to worry about it because the size would increase depending on the size of the thing. I don't think it can move up. Yeah, that's true. So before, because all the proximity stuff was relative to the size of the location, we need to take in the size of these locations and change the area of the scan. So the bigger the location, the bigger the scan, right? Because we don't want it super large for all of them. Because I like this one. I like this one. Well, that one's fine. This one's also fine. That one's also fine. That one's also fine. That one's also fine. This one's fine. But here, not so much. Or we could put like a house here or something. Boom, 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 boom. And then it's stuck. Oh, nope. And then we die. Let's go. Now it's stuck up here. So, like, the idea is there will be different weights. So now we get into a little bit funky territory. I don't know if you remember this. It's been a hot while. It's been a hot while doing this. But we decided that there is a chance. There's like 3 different scannings. No, it doesn't. It's random. See? Well, it's stuck now, but it takes 3. So those are about equal. Technically, it would choose this one if it was. It would have chose that one if it was all about it being close. And then boop, 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 boop. Look at that. It's random. Hell yeah. So now we need to teach it certain weights, right? It needs to be able to see what was taken and what hasn't been taken. And we did this in such a way where we're still turning it false. And because we're turning it false, it's not double backing. So it is not double backing, at least from what I can tell. Did I just create life? I create life every day. Look at it. Interesting. It tried to go back. Okay, so it wasn't getting anything there. Oh, that's because it's choosing. Yeah, we need to. I think our next step is. Oh, it went back. Oh, it shows the character body. Oh, that's funny. Oh no. Actually, that's interesting. Because think about it. So this is a bit of a mistake, right? We wanted to take over houses, not cars, not police vehicles. But what if during the moment that it spreads, within the vicinity of its spreading is a vehicle, and it chooses the vehicle, and it ambushes the vehicle, destroys the vehicle, and then you're getting a call from your police officer stating that they got attacked and that they need ambulance sent their way. But you don't know if that's the real police officer anymore. So you send police officers to the location. It just created a new spot for you. Okay. Maybe, I mean, I like it, but at the same time, when I'm thinking about the timing of it all, that would mean that whenever you stop a house and they ran and they choose a house, that means the vehicle would be always a prime target. And I don't know how I feel about it. But I do like the idea of a vehicle being attacked. So let's potentially add that. Potential adds, is do I have vehicles/resource system? I do not. Monsters? No footprints. Okay, good one, Idealist. Good job. Wait, how are the mimics not on the news? They are on the news. At least in the extent of what the damage that they've been doing, but the police as well as 911 operators are trying to keep people from panicking. So there's like a emergency broadcast system happening, and intermediately with like news updates being done against the will of the police force to try to keep people calm and safe and like try to fight this back. We'll just put this in possible ads where, well, it's not even possible ads. Access to signal outside the facility. This is the emergency shutdown broadcast system. This is the one we literally just mentioned. It'd be fun if there was a multiplayer mode where one person is the mimic and one person is the officer. That would be kind of fun. I don't know how to implement it, but that would be kind of fun. Challenge modes, imposter system tutorial, coworkers interaction. Let's go ahead and just make imposter system. That's the imposter system. Where's the spread? Is there really not? I thought I did add a thing for spread, but it looks like I didn't. Why? Alright. You know what? Actually, delete it. We're just gonna make a copy. So that way we still get the black background. And then we'll just boop. Perfect. And then we'll name this one. Wait, this is the imposter system. No, resources. And then potentially can spread to cars. To resources if they are close by when the mimic is chased away. Oh, mimic chooses its next location. Maybe it won't choose automatically. Maybe it will choose later. Maybe it runs and then like maybe a minute later or so, we'll go it back. All right, so that's interesting. That's interesting. So we did it. Yay us. We now have a couple other things that we need to keep in mind for this. First, you know what? Let's take this out. In the imposter system, we'll do imposter spread. You know what? This will be mimic spread instead of resources. Potentially could spread to resources. There's a couple things we need to keep in mind. First, 3 separate degrees of spreading. This was something that was mentioned before. The 3 degrees were as follows. There was the first, which was like the most likely. These were most likely spread of mimics. That's what you see now, where it's like it's fairly close. Then you have the second, which is not as likely spread of mimics, which is a bigger circle around that circle. So if you were to like do it, it would be like this far, would be around here. And then a third is like unlikely spread of mimics, where you would go even further. And you might be wondering like why, right? Why would you add additional variability as far as the potential spread of it? And the reason is the idea behind these mimics is where are they? Did I also not write this down? My God, what the hell? Oh, here. This. The difficulty tiers. The difficulty tiers is essentially how intelligent they are becoming. How good are they getting at mimicking? And the idea of the longer they are here and taking over the place, the more effective and like predictable not predictable, but the more that they're trying to predict us, the player, in the way they go about it. Because if this thing, let's say like we kick it out of like the 4th house, like we're on their ass, they are frustrated at the fact of like they keep on flagging, they keep on knowing that this thing, but every single time it tries again, and every single time it gets a little better, right? As the game progresses, they get more difficult as time goes on, right? That's the idea behind them, and why it eventually gets to a point where you just can't, like, it's part of the difficulty incline. But with this comes the idea of, well, what if part of the reason that we know that they are mimics isn't necessarily because they're making mistakes, but because they're being predictable in their spread? Because if you look, obviously, let's say there's just one, right? Let's do this again. Right? Obviously, the game just started. right? The game literally just started. You get a call from here saying there's someone trying to break in. Are you going to suspect it's a monster or a mimic? No, it's a safe bet. It's a safe bet that this is not going to be a mimic. And it's the same for this location, or this location, or this location. You know that only of these three, because we're humans, we are very good at pattern recognition. It would not take long, maybe 2 playthroughs, maybe 3, for people to clock that the first jump is within these 3 houses, and that anything else on this map is fair game in the beginning. And then as long as you note the direction that it's going, you kind of have an indication of like, okay, so it's here, so it's probably going to be like maybe this area here, right? And then it would jump there. And then maybe this area here, etc. So it is, I mean, granted down here it gets stuck, but we'll fix that. The point is, we don't want it to be predictable. We want to play with the people, the players' assumptions of what is true. We want them to feel like they're safe in making decisions, only to show them that they never were. So that's why, as the game gets more, if these things get smarter, they're going to take higher risks and go farther. They're gonna see, hey, there's a house like let's say here, blocked. Let's say, oh, they're expecting me to go to either of these 2 houses. They're not expecting me to go here. So it's gonna clock this and be, I'm gonna take this chance and go further. So now that's the second area. The second area is the potential, is a smaller chance, and that's kind of what we want to implement, is that the targets here of potentials of here, or maybe we'll classify it of different proximities, etc., and subtract the distance between the 2 or something. We'll math it out, but then everything within here is like a solid, let's say on difficulty 3. These things are starting to get really smart. It's like a 60% chance, maybe like a 50% chance they'll choose something close. Maybe it's a 30% chance they go further. And then maybe it's a 20% chance they'll go even further. They'll go around, they'll sneak around, they'll try to aim for certain aspects, right? So that is something that we need to keep in mind, is that the spread is in 3 different things. So with that in mind, unlikely to spread from mimics, the potential for spread of different distances is directly related to the difficulty of the mimic. The higher the difficulty, the more likely it is it will try to trick you by going further. And then once it becomes a level 4, the most difficult, nothing is safe. Well, not nothing, but like most likely, like you can't assume anymore. It could be anywhere, right? So that's one thing we need to keep in mind. The other thing that we need to keep in mind with this particular aspect is the idea that what would be the next thing? Not all locations are equal. And what do I mean by that? I mean, what I originally want is that I want certain locations that when they don't really have a way to get to them, right? So like this area is very protected. Like, I don't want, if we extend this out, so it's just like, oh, it could go over here. There isn't a whole lot of protection here. But here, I want this to be harder to choose. So we're going to have to put conditions to the selections to allow it so that it is a less likely chance or an impossible chance unless one of these two have been selected. Or they're coming from the back, right? It like comes over here and then it goes back here and then it can kind of come in from this side, right? But in order to get over there, you have to go up and around that way, or you have to go through these two locations. So we want a discrepancy, a almost give and take as far as allowing the spread. It's not completely and shouldn't be completely random. Where once it selects a thing, it makes it so that it checks a list and checks it twice. Maybe we'll call it the list checker or Santa or something, where it checks a list and be like, okay, what we selected, is there anything that's applicable to it? Where it checks before selection, and then after it then logs in all the chance variables and applies it to the selection, then it chooses from the array. Right? It's not truly random. It is then applied where it's just like, unless these are taken, in which you would also check for that, then you can move forward with it, and so on and so forth. And the last thing that we have to worry about are gaps. We have to worry about gaps. Gaps in particular, as you've been seeing, like, oh, it looped back in. Game over. I guess you're fine, right? We need to make, granted, increasing the size of this will help this a lot. But what we essentially want, what we could potentially do, now that I'm thinking about it, is that we can make the spread, or the chance of the location, be directly proportional of how close it is, right? You essentially make it so that, let's say instead of dividing them up accordingly, we go all the way up to 3, and then but we weigh it so that it's like, oh, 1, 2, 3, like this one is, these two are about equal, but they themselves take like 33%, and then that's like, or 30%, 30%, 30%, and then this is like 3%, and then this is 3%, and then this is 3%, and then this is like 0.1, and then 0.05, and then etc., where it's like, oh, it takes the distance from the current selection and then applies a random factor from that distance subtracted from 1, right? And then but we make it so that all of them are a chance to that. Basically, I'm talking about distance and how we can add some randomization for more likely the closer they are, but it's still a chance it could be farther. That's what we're just talking about. And then finally, the thing that we're tackling now, which is if less than current array has a chance to return with nothing. AKA, it spreads, but it doesn't choose anything, so nothing happens. We want to avoid that. But hopefully we'll be able to fix that today. All right, so sorry to hit you back in as soon as you zone back in, Star, but it is time for ads, and I need to use the restroom, so I'll be right back. Ba-da-ba. And I am back, and you're back, and welcome back. All right, so these are our potential things that we still need to tackle for this. We need to implement certain safeguards in the way that we want to do it. We got it to move, which should have been the easiest thing. But here we are. You could even do it from here too. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Ah, and then it runs out. Okay, so gaps less than current array. Here we go. We'll just do this. We will boom, boom. Come on, move it. Gotta move it, move it. Boom. So boom, boom. And then boom. Perfect. Do more squats. Well, we'll see if I remember to do them. I sometimes forget the ones because the next there isn't going to be another ad break. But I guess I can do another one just for you, Star, because you already redeemed your squats. Or you can remember next time. Either or. Alright, let's go ahead and move this up. Gaps, current array, and then size uniformity. I think the size uniformity is what we need to tackle now. So size uniformity issue is the fact that even when it moves to different locations, it's not changing the area. So this is a perfect area for what we're dealing with right now. But as soon as we get here, it should have gone bigger. So this should be a lot bigger and longer. Because I want this one to be here, here, or here. And then this one, I want it to be able to touch this building. I have 12 points, I better remember. So what we want is we want to take the attacked position and then apply a, let's see here, what is the transform? Apply the scale. It takes the scale of the node and then applies that number to our scale in mimic proximity. Right? Really, the people that don't talk and just listen to the stream, they must have like 20,000 points, right? Pretty much. They have a decent amount of points. So let us let's see here. Let's go to a Shapecast 2D. Shapecast 2D. Okay, let's go to Shapecast. There it is. Why didn't that show? It's fine. Enabled float shape 2D shape. Vector 2 target position. Okay, so we would have been able to do the it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We made it to work somehow. I'm not gonna, even though this tells me that we should have been able to move it without attaching it to something, but F it. Just F it, dude. Unless I threw itself into, I guess I could have thrown itself into it. Should I try it? What if I made this shape cast 2D and then put itself in and then try it again? Let's see. It worked, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, it works. That's crazy. That's funny. But hey, we know that. We know that now. That's great. I'm glad we know that now. So we don't need to put this there. We don't need to put this under mimic. It could just be mimic proximity. But I'm oh. There we go. Perfect. And then there we go. I'm fine with doing this for now. Let's just make sure I didn't break it. Whoops. I know what happened. You boop. Perfect. Oh, this one would need to be 80/40. Is that what this was? 80/40. At one point, I could be like, "Oh, in the beginning, it automatically does that," but that's fine. Okay, perfect. Make payload manager say tween instead of tween. I mean, the reason it says tween exclamation mark is because it's yelling tween. It's not giving you the command. Why would it? Do you want it to give you the command back? I'm also worried of infinite loops. Because if you're saying tween makes it say tween, then wouldn't it also trigger itself? Is that why? So you can make it trigger itself again and again and again and again? You should learn how to code. Because that's brilliant. If that is indeed what you're saying. You recognize an infinite loop, and I'm proud of you. Just, you'll have to be smarter than that. All right. Let's see here. So what we need is to get. That's the shape. We want scale. Can we get count, get shape? I mean, the shape is here. We don't want to change the shape. We want to change the scale. Collide with area, collision mask, bool enabled, exclude parent, margin, max results, shape, target position. Add exceptions. We don't need to add exceptions. But also, it wouldn't let it the next time, because when someone says tween, it says you have to wait this amount of time. Right, but that's you saying that amount of time. Paleomaster's Dodo would essentially, Paleomaster's Dodo would trigger itself twice, only once, because then it itself would be under cooldown. Get collider shape. Get collision count. Get collision mask value. Normal point. Is there a way to Godot get scale of node? Changing the position of the node's children will change the scale direction. Make sure that they are centered in the origin. Good question, but if you have, what is the syntax for rescaling sprite? Doesn't say anything about scaling, but it crashes the game. Scale is not a function but a property. To use a multiplier, for example, if you want to scale up a factor 2, you could write my sprite scale equals 2. The scale property itself is a type, vector 2, so it is set directly if you would, or if you could write my sprite scale vector 2. You use the magic word. Alright. You said the magic word for science, so yeah, I'll do that. Let's see here. Where is it? There you are. For science, I have done it. All right, now I'm gonna say tween. Let's see what happens. Yeah. It didn't. It didn't trigger itself. Surprisingly enough. Am I also on cooldown? I don't have the cooldown. Wahaha. Okay. Nope. It does not count itself. Probably because it... I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I didn't make it case sensitive. At least I don't think. Let me see. Not case sensitive. But for you, what I'll do, I'll flip it. It will now accept both exclamation mark tween and tween exclamation mark. There you go. Because I saw people flipping it because, you know, Mama Doda was saying it. So. It works now on either one. So what we want... See? It works. Now, what we want is... Hey, Prodfishy. What's up? How are you doing today? Hopefully well. Just tested if it actually is because of uppercase. All right, go for it. I mean, it wouldn't have... If it wasn't uppercase, you wouldn't have gotten the warning. Right? The warning works for both. Yeah, there you go. Just okay, Prod? Well, I hope your day gets even better. I've been up since 6 working on my project. It's 1 p.m. Yeah, well, I completely get it. Well, what are you working on? What project are you working on, Prod? An app? Ooh. An app for what? We were both wrong, Idealist? How were we both wrong? Hey, Dragon, welcome back. Oh, Dragon. Dragon, I want to show you. Look. 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 It jumps. It got stuck, but it jumps now. It jumps from house to house. It spreads. These mimic spreading are spreading. It spreads. It spreads across the map now. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, no, hold on. I'm not showing it to you. I switched it. Hold on. Now I'll show you. Look. Doom, boom, 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 boom. Look at it. It jumps. It turns off the previous locations and moves on to the next one. And it jumps. It's exactly what we've been trying to do for so long. I know some content readers don't like me saying it. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, like, let me put it this way. I asked what you were working on. I asked what does the app do? And so, like, that gives you free range at that point to, like, for you to kind of talk about it. Now, if you just came into the chat and were just like, hey, I'm working on this app that does this, 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 and this, that's self-promo, because, you know, no one asked you, but you still put that information in front of it. So yeah, it's fine. This is so much app called Likely. Oh, what does it do besides social media? Is it like comparable to other things that we recognize, and how is it different? But with the trade-off is that we met like 5 nice performances for the music. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Anyone that really like jumped out at you? Well, it was an infinite loop, and it didn't stop basically after saying it after cooldown. I suppose? It's like a mix of Instant MySpace and Omelette Arcade, if you knew that before it shut down. I don't remember Omelette Arcade, but I do know Insta and MySpace. Here's the biggest question, though. Do I get to put a song on my front page? Because if it's not, then what's the point with MySpace? Am I right? Right? What song did I put up on mine? I feel like it was Green Day. It was either Avenged Sevenfold or Green Day. It was one of those two. Like, it was right. It hit me right at that like teenage years. It was right there. And you have a leaderboards with your profile of top friends and supporters. Hell yeah! Well, that's really cool. That's awesome that you're working on that. And all the power to you. There was a band called Soul Pilled, which does pop jazz. That's interesting. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you kind of, you know, met some like interesting new music styles that you didn't see before, Dragon. It's pretty good. I'm making something that's nothing, and what does it do? Nothing. I didn't know what to comment. It's like, well, I'm doing something, and it doesn't do anything. I mean, you're young right now, Star. Like, you have all the time in the world to work on stuff, right? And do whatever inspires you. I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm like streaming me flumbering around and not really know what I'm doing, is to show like you could flounder around and it's completely fine. Java project. How are you doing, Binkley? But yeah, no. I do a million things at the same time. Yep. Yep. Well, not yet, but you'll get there, Star. And I've seen you socialize with your cousins and them too. Yeah. Well, this is a fine place to make friends too. Right? Like if y'all want to be friends with each other, so be it, right? Why not? I'm just struggling with making a flipping object to drag and drop in the inventory. Are you still struggling with that? Well, I don't want to say that I'm ahead of you with my progress, but look, it jumps from place to place and gets stuck, but it still jumps. Look at it. It goes across the map in random directions. It spreads across. So good. But we have a whole list of other factors that we need to implement for the spread in order to make it so it's an actual complete mimic spread that we want to actually like move forward with. So that's something. Y'all can text me on Discord literally whenever, and I will respond in 0.2 seconds. Do you like live on Discord? I get hyper focused on what I'm working on, so that's why a lot of times y'all at me and I just don't respond for like 5 hours. Understandable. This looks like the data on the motherboard being carried from one place to another. Kinda, yeah. I like that there's a little bit of red down here from when it moved over and it just saved it. All right. So what we're doing right now is, the problem that we're tackling right now is specifically with, as this is moving around, I like the size of this area jump for the little houses, but once it gets to like the bigger ones, I want it to increase on the size of the spread because it's a bigger location. So I'm going to take the location that it chooses and take the scale off of that object and then multiply our scale with that value. That's my current goal, is to figure that out. Will that figure that out in 30 minutes? Probably not. But hey, a man can dream. A dodo can dream. I wasn't successful with friends, but at least I have one true friend, at least. And when I was at school some years ago, I had 0 friends. I was never successful. It's hard. It's really hard making friends. I moved a lot when I was younger. And I had to start over often. It's rough. It's really rough, especially nowadays. For the past 6 days, I've been waking up at 5, 6 a.m. to work on my app till 11 p.m., 1 a.m. on this stupid little app. Yeah, like that's... Well, be sure to not try to burn yourself out, Prod. Give yourself some rest, give yourself some time, some fresh air. Exercise is also nice. Try to eat healthy where you can. Just try to take care of yourself, because you can fall flat. Like it will hit you out of nowhere. I do so many things. I can't burn yourself out. As somebody who also thought that, I suffer from burnout now. So I'm glad, but at the same time, that's not going to be forever. And you need to be able to build those kind of habits that will allow you a healthy, understanding your own healthy pace, right? It's like you can push yourself now, but if you don't learn the necessary ways of the way that your brain works and the way that your body works, you're gonna suffer later on, like I did. I can keep you company if I'm not in uni. Burnout is the worst. It's literally hell I've been in most of my life. Honestly, yeah. It hit me hard when I was 26, 27. I lost, it hit me so bad that I remember just walking. This was when I was working for 3 years. And I guess all of the master's degree stuff and all the relationship falling apart stuff and all that, and then being able to have finally having a safety net of my savings account all hit at the same time. And I hit severe burnout to the point where I remember just walking in the hallway at my job and I had to white knuckle grip, no joke, as I fought the overwhelming urge to just walk out of the building and just never come back. The overwhelming need, not a want, not desire, a need to stop. Just to stop. It was so bad, I called it the riptide. Because I didn't know what it was. I never experienced it before. I had no idea. And it just hits you out of nowhere when you've never experienced it before. There weren't any signs. I didn't see any signs. I didn't feel any signs. I was fine, and then I wasn't fine. It just hit me out of nowhere. And then it got to a point where I was talking to my friend about it. I was talking to my mom about it, and I was just I don't know what's wrong with me. What is this? I don't know what this is. I just had this overwhelming desire to stop what I'm doing. And I was doing the appropriate thing, which was to find a new job, which was to go out there and be okay, well, obviously where I'm at now isn't working for me, so I'll try to find a new position to move into. And a month and then a month into it, I remember having a after having a conversation, as the feeling, it just got worse and worse and worse. I literally felt my mind, I started to lose grasp of what I was thinking. I was thinking things that I wasn't consciously trying to think things of, and where I was just losing control of myself. And I was oh, this is now a problem. This is now a huge problem. And literally the next day I talked to my manager and I was I'm quitting. And their reaction, by the way, was they laughed because they thought I was joking. And they thought I was joking because they thought I was there gonna be there for life. Like, I made them cupcakes. I hid Easter eggs for Easter egg thing. Like, I made, like, they thought I was gonna be there forever, and I thought I was gonna be there forever. And then when I didn't laugh, she was just like, "Oh wait, are you not joking?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm not." And she's just like, "Where did this come from?" Like, everyone was so shocked, but that's because, like, I hid it so well. And after I left there, I don't know how to describe to you how amazing it was. The 3 months after I quit that job was some of the best months I've ever had in my life. Those 3 months felt like a year in a good way. And those 3 months was me learning about myself. It was like, okay, I don't know where this came from, but I think I need to learn, like, how I tick. And I learned about what I liked, what I didn't like, how I function, how I don't function, how much time can I spend working on something, how much do I get myself burned out on, like, what do I do on my off time? Like, I gave myself like a free month off where I could just do whatever I want without any feeling of pressure on myself, and just looked at what I did. What is it that I was doing? And I was making a game. I was designing a game. That's what I wanted. And I started moving in the direction of game development from that point. And it didn't take until, like, this last year, of course, to actually get started. And this was like 4 or 5 months ago, or years ago. But the point is learning about yourself and your limits and the rules that your mind and body place on you is so important to know and recognize. And life becomes so much easier once you learn it, because no one can tell you how your brain works. No one can tell you how your body works. Only you can find that out. And until you learn the rules of life that only apply to you, it's going to be an uphill battle in a lot of ways. So I couldn't recommend it enough. And sorry, I haven't been I went on a tirade, so I'm behind on responding to y'all. So you're a Spotify artist. I play 3 instruments. Ooh, 3 instruments. See, I'm learning how to do music. That's awesome. Web and app dev, and I have 20 others at the same time. I think you do have ADHD, but I'm the same kind of brain as you, Prod. Like, I do art. I make games. I'm now going into music. I'm a content creator. I'm an editor. I'm a scientist. I am, like, all these different things. I'm an animator. I animated some stuff too. And so, like, I the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing now is because it allows me to do all the different interesting things that I want to do but could potentially sustain me and make a living off of. So finding, like, skills that allow it allows, like, improvement of all the different things that I want to do. As I'm improving my art, I improve my stream experience. I improve my thumbnails that when I make contents for. I make, like, self-esteem, where it's like I'm making art that I enjoy, right? And, like, it's one of the reasons that I'm looking at potentially taking some voice acting classes, so I can do different voices for stream, and I can do different voices for game development, so I can fill in the voices in my games without needing to hire other people. So, like, things where it's just like little skills that hit multiple different interests at the same time is something that's very, very interesting to me. And it is really wonderful in that you're not limiting yourself, but by growing your repertoire, it increases the kind of, like, multi-hit, where it's just like it's a 4x combo. It's like making a magic deck where you realize that one card in the deck combos with, like, 6 other different things that you want to do, and it's just so good. It's just so cool. It's so fun. Having to do both work for 3 days, college, and 3 other projects. It's only free day and puberty crisis hit. Yeah, that's definitely overwhelmed. There's definitely burnout, Dragon. I'm sorry you struggled through that. I in high school, I struggled with the opposite. I wasn't properly stimulated. I was so bored. I was not stimulated in high school. I did not try because I wasn't forced to try. I could just scoot by and I would still pass all my stuff, so why would I bother? So I craved stimulation, but I wasn't given it. My OP, we did a lot of art as a coping skill and self-esteem stuff. I was an artist and a writer when I was really, really young. My mom thought I was going to go really deeply into writing. And it wasn't until, I think it was after my move from Florida, that I stopped drawing altogether. And then I picked it back up after I played Dead Space, and that was the first time that I was truly inspired artistically. And that's when I got into like horror art, because it just, Dead Space, the original Dead Space, like 2006 Dead Space, truly like resonated with my soul in such a creative way that it was so overwhelming in a positive way that I felt the first time in a long time to create. It was good. It was beautiful. But then college hit, and then I stopped again because I don't know, I was struggling emotionally in college. It was like how a very busy uncle taught me, if you know it doesn't take a degree to do, learn it yourself, save yourself the money to hire someone else. That's one way of looking at it. I personally struggle with delegation. I'm learning to try to do better at that. Like, for instance, with the new Idealist model, what not every single VTuber, but what most VTubers do, what most people do, is that they find an artist and they commission them. I want to make them myself, but I'm learning more and more that there's what I should and shouldn't delegate and what I'm willing and not willing to delegate. Like, what is it that I'm trying to get from it? Why am I unwilling to move forward with it? And I think part of the reason for me, and maybe y'all are the same way, creating for me is an act of love. That is my love language. As far as properly expressing love and care for people that I care about, I love making things. The more more part of it I'm in, the more that it means to me, the more that it feels like it means to them, right? So like growing up when I was in a high school sweetheart, like for our anniversary, I made drawings and I wrote poems. I didn't buy stuff. I made stuff. And like that's just how I like to express like how I care for people. And so in situations like this where it's like, oh, you need to delegate and like have someone else make the creative outlet, and I'm like, no, that's something I should do. This is an act of love. I should do it. And if I'm not good enough, I just need to get good enough. It's just how I'm wired, and I love it. Like to the extent, listen, it sounds like I'm being hyperbolic. I'm really not. If I had the money, because long story short, I was engaged at one point, and to my high school sweetheart. And if I had all the money in the world, I would have mined the diamond myself. I would have flown to a mining area and mined the diamond myself. I would have learned how to make jewelry myself. I would have smelted it myself, and I would have designed it from the ground up myself. Is that possible? No. It's not. But if I had all the money and leverage in the world, that's how I would have done it. And so I'm already know it's just like, listen, this doesn't feel healthy, that I'm wanting to take on everything on my own all the time by myself. And especially like when making stuff for y'all, for stream, for my community who I care about, like all the like outfits, all the interactions, like it's a showing of love and care for me. It's an act of service. So what you said, Dragon, like that's just how I express. So to be like, oh, I'm gonna pay someone else to do it, it just feels like it's like you're just copping out. It feels like you're just like blech, you know? It's yeah. It's like I am just inspired by art. So many of my friends either made media animators and they're like me, are inspired to draw. Hell yeah. As I'm saying, I consider the fact I commissioned 3 of my artist friends. Well, that's the thing. I also have artist friends. I could commission them. I could. And I probably should, to be honest. But I'm learning to try not to get my hands into literally everything because I'm only one person. And I need to understand that that's just not feasible. And to learn to be what I'm okay with and what I'm not okay with. Jiff likes my music, so for a little gift, me and her are going to a studio making a song for her. Oh my god, Pride! Yes! That's so cute! Oh my gosh. If you're willing to share it once it's done, I would love to hear it because that's so cute. That's so beautiful. But it's very personal, so if you don't want to, okay, just no pressure. No pressure. There's a music session in the Discord. Feel free to post it there. I would love to hear it. But that's so cute. You're the Riz on this. The Riz on Pride, man. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, no, like I feel like I missed some comments and I apologize. I kind of got into ranting. Oh. No. You're fine. I think the only thing I missed was the trauma dump, but you're good. I'm trauma dumping more than you are. Let's be real. Let's be real right now. Like, you're good. You're fine. But yeah, no, this is just, I don't know. I'm still learning. And I can almost guarantee that I'm older than all of you by like good double. I'm older than most of you by double at this point, probably. So like life, you're figuring yourself out most of your life. Yeah, exactly. All this talk going too much at once. What is like the reasonable to do mo at once? You're a baby. Y'all are all babies to me. What I would recommend is instead of trying to determine the exact amount of effort, because it varies. It varies, right? Exactly, Mama Dodo. Because to assume that you have the same amount of mental energy or physical energy every single day is just not true. How stressed you are, what you've done the day before, how you ate, how much you've exercised, the allergies you're struggling through. Were you sick recently? Are you struggling through emotionally, mentally? Are you recovering from strain? Like, there's so much that goes on that varies how much you can take on, that it's better, in my opinion, to recognize when you've hit your limit, to see the signs. So for me, I've learned that when I push myself too far, I get depressed. When I start self-doubting, when I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Things aren't working out. I'm not growing the way I should be growing. These numbers aren't going up. My drawing sucks. Like, all those kind of things start settling in. I'm like, okay. And after a while, there was just kind of like a cycle of just like, I try really hard and then I get depressed, and then I try really hard and then I get depressed, and then it just keeps on cycling. And then I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. Eventually it hit where I'm like, what if I'm not doubting myself? What if I'm just a little burned out? And if I felt that way, I would give myself permission to rest for the rest of the day. I would give myself permission to just like, okay, we're just going to lean back. We're just going to not push anything. We're not going to try to force everything. We adjust the schedule. We make it work. And then the next day I'm completely fine. And then I'm like ready to do stuff, and I want to do stuff. When you try to force yourself to do stuff, that's when you're going against like your natural inclination, right? A lot of kids your age still watch brain rot. Yeah. Yeah, no. Like, I'm glad you're here, Star. Personally, I'm glad all of y'all are here. You know, even if it's for a brief time. Because some of y'all are busy people. And I've kind of gone back and forth as far as when I look at like analytics and stuff like that, where it's just like, is it bad that people just stop by and then drop off? Is it because I'm not entertaining? Is it not like, I mean, should I be doing other things? And then a part of me is just like, you can't demand for people to just be there the entire time. You know what I mean? Like, that's unfair. That's a pressure on yourself and on other people that it's not okay. Exactly. Like, people have lives, and as as an entertainer, as a content creator, my job is to make sure that it's like, sure, you've given me even a fraction of your attention. Literal billions of dollars are spent to pull your attention, and you are willing to give me even a fraction of that. Says a lot. So I appreciate it. And those are just like the bad thoughts anyway. You know what I mean? Changing the song I made with my friends. I made the beat, that made the lyrics and all the vocal stuff. Yeah. Shoot that over in the Discord. In the music Discord. We're gonna be, especially since I'm gonna be getting into making music myself and stuff. I'm also gonna be dipping into looking. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Actually, are you all, if you need help on FL Studio, I actually picked up a Reaper. Are you familiar with Reaper at all? No, I hate TikTok and YouTube Shorts. I usually play games. Hell yeah. What's your favorite game, Star? Besides Ultra Kill. I don't use it though. I used it for oh, hey Prod, I'll show you. Let's see if I can pull it up. Let's see, Reaper. Let's see. Let me show you something that I did for chat a little while ago. There's a little, I don't know where. For first, say hello to King. Oh, wait, no. Where is the thing? There it is. Where's King? King? King, where are you? Oh, there it is. There you are, King. Hello, King. Hello. And then now, let's see if it works. You hear him? When I have a MIDI keyboard on my desk, so I made a thing where on here, so that when I hit the MIDI keyboard, I have an altered voice on here. So I'm just hitting the keys, and that's what that's how King talks. So this is my first introduction to sound design, is to make this little guy talk with us on stream for Monster Hunter. That's what we did that for. But I wanted to show that off. The song is non-copyright, says one since I made it, so like you can play it on stream. Oh, so do you give me permission to play it on stream? Because if so, then I certainly don't mind. I think it would be interesting to give it a listen. More than happy to support. Okay, perfect. All right, let's look, yeah?
Girl, I've been away for too long. Everything that feels right is wrong. Trust me if you find a way inside the song. If you need somewhere to run to, just run to me, my dog. I'ma feed your pussy like this. I got some drugs too, in case I need to heal, my dog. I never thought I would need you right here. Oh, everything's changing. Yeah, on the same thing. You morphing into someone and I can take it. Oh, baby, everything is changing. Yeah, in a way, I found a replacement. Yeah, yeah, different type of tears, different type of tighties, not a bitch I wanna hear. Yeah, if it ain't no money involved, a bag for me to fill. I'm finessing everything, got 'em popping out of here. This is not a feeling I always strive for. Once you get a taste of these things, you wanna die for. Turn demons into ties, wait for you to get inside. Yeah, my advice, don't let them insert the knife. twisted, hoping you gon' fight. Turn you pessimistic, right up all your lies. They don't give a fuck about your things that you done got. They don't give a fuck about your feelings or your thoughts. If you need somewhere to run to, just run to me, my dog. I'ma feed your pussy like this. I got some drugs too, in case I need to heal, my dog. I never died, I would need you right here. Oh, everything's changing, I want the same thing. You walking into someone and I can take it. Oh, baby, everything is changing. I'm tired of waiting, I found a replacement. I guess. Fuck what they want, fuck what they need. Load up a blunt, grab me a scheme. Run on my blouse, get you a feel, get in my cross, walk in my jeans. I don't give a fuck if you're giving a fuck. I'm all out of love, I'm all out of green, I'm all out of reasons to give you a lead. I'm all out of beans, girl, I gotta leave. We functional addicts, yeah. I wanna fuck on a bad, yeah. She gotta taste it once, and she turned into a fanatic. I heard you need some help, you probably should ask me. It's automatic. When I get anxious, I roll me up exotic. And you got a bag, I gotta have it. I need like 5 of them, I'm causing havoc, yeah. Get to fucking with a savage. Keep my eyes on the prize, sipping liquor like a pirate, yeah. Baby, if you need someone to call, you should hear me, we could have a bar. Every time you get too high, you wanna fall deep inside my arms. If you need somewhere to run to, just run to me, my dog. I'ma feed your pussy like this. I got some drugs too, in case I need to heal, my dog. I never died, I would need you right here. Oh, every